All right. 2/8/23. We're gonna start off teaching you something. The number one thing I have to teach you in 7th grade is this.
Math.
Yes.
Yes.
Unit rate and proportions. For your state test that we're going to give you at the end of the year, most of the questions can be answered using a unit rate and proportion. So, the number one thing you're going to use in 8th grade are equations. Well, I already taught you that. The drawing the bars, that's the number one thing you need to know for 8th grade. For 7th grade, this is the number one thing you're going to have to know. You actually started learning it in 6th grade. All right. Does anybody know what unit rate means?
Unit is like.
Unit rate is finding, quotation marks, one of something. One of something. It doesn't make a lot of sense right now. It will maybe in a second. So finding one of something. So for example, I want to know what the costs. So you ran 3 miles. How long did it take you to run 1 mile? You bought 10 water bottles. Well, but I want to know how much 1 water bottle costs. You go to Costco and you buy the pack of like 30 chips in a box, right?
I get it. So how much that one thing in that big group is.
Correct. So that's finding one of something. And I put 1, like 1 pound, 1 bag of chips, 1 box. How does 1 cost?
A bag of chips goes for 30 chips. Something like that.
No, like you go to the easiest thing is like you go to Smart and Final or you go to Costco and they sell you like a box full of 30 bag of chips, right?
Oh, yeah.
And it costs like $20, right? Okay, well how much does just 1 individual bag cost? Because I'm going to sell it to my friend.
$1.
Yeah, it's going to be division. Right? Well, 30 bags cost $20.
But you're probably gonna want to mark it up, right?
Right, no, yeah. But this is just the starting point. Like, well, how much did it cost me, that 1 bag of chips? Then you do markup and whatnot, a discount, a sales tax. But the whole idea of this is 1 pound, 1 bag, 1 box, 1 mile. The whole thing is the 1. All right, so let's start off pretty easy. 5 bags of chips. Chips.
That's crazy.
Right? Cost $10.25.
5 bags of crisps.
What is the cost per bag? Okay, so per has a lot of meaning in math. Per actually is another word for 1. So 5 bags of chips cost $10.25. What is the cost per bag? So 1 bag.
1 mil.
So what would you do?
Division.
Divide. Now, what are you finding 1 of? $1 or 1 bag?
1 bag.
Okay, so you're finding per 1 bag. Okay, so I'm going to tell you a little shortcut to make the math easier. Because when we divide, sometimes the numbers are confusing and you don't know which number goes inside and which number goes outside. So I'm going to repeat this 1,000 times during this next few weeks. Whatever you're finding 1 of goes outside. So what am I finding 1 of?
Bag.
1 bag. So that means that bag will be outside because I'm finding 1 of. Whatever you're finding 1 of will go outside. Okay, that's an A, bag. So whatever you're finding 1 of will go outside. The other number will go inside. What's my other number represent?
Per 25.
The amount that it costs, right? So the money, most of the time, the money will go inside. Like 95% of the time, the money will go inside. Okay? So, knowing this, so which number goes outside? 5. Because we're putting the bag outside because it's the 1 bag. So that means the 5 goes outside, and then the money goes inside. So 10.25.
2.5.
Now, we're going to do this a long way. We're going to get not scared of decimals. You see this decimal in division? If it's inside, all you do is bring it straight up. Okay, that's it. So a lot of times kids fear it. I don't know what to do with the decimal. I don't have a calculator. All you do is bring it straight up. On the MAP test and on the state test, they sometimes give you a calculator, and they sometimes don't. So we got to practice sometimes doing math with that one, and that's okay. Okay, does 5 go into 1? Nope. So we put the 0 on top of the 1. Does 5 go into 10? Yes. How many times? Twice. 2 times 5 is 10. Remainder 0. Bring down the 2.
No.
Does 5 go into 2? No. So a lot of times kids forget to put this 0 on the top because 0 times 5 is 0. So now we bring down the 5. You can't bring two numbers down at the same time. So I brought down the 2. Now I got to deal with the 2. Now I have 25. How many times does 5 go into 25? 5. So my answer is 2.05. Now what does this mean? For one bag, exactly. So it's $2.05 per bag. So I bought 5 bags at Costco for $10.25. I did the math. Each bag costs $2.05 for one bag. Make sense? All right. Oh, what time is it? 37.
Time to go to bed.
I ran 3 miles in 57 minutes.
That's a lot.
How long does it take to run a mile? Now, this is tricky because sometimes you guys are used to seeing miles and minutes and time, and you want to know speed. But am I asking you for speed? No, I'm asking you for another time. So I give you a time of 57 minutes, but now I'm asking you for another time. Right? So be careful, because sometimes 7th graders will read this and be like, oh, it's speed, because she gives me distance, she gives me time, so she wants speed. And in a way, I kind of do. But I'm phrasing it differently. So, how long is time again? Now, what am I finding one of? 1 minute or 1 mile? A mile. So that means that this will go outside. Because I'm finding a mile, so I'm going to put miles outside. Because it's like, what goes outside? The 57 or the 3? And don't tell me the small number goes outside, because sometimes it's not. So miles goes outside. Which number represents miles? 3. What's my other number? 57. That goes inside.
19
So
minutes.
Yeah.
So it takes you 8 minutes to run a half mile.
yeah.
That's crazy. It takes me 7 minutes on the mile.
So 19 minutes
Honestly,
Or
I'll even try
1 mile.
on the half mile, 4 mile. I walk the whole thing.
Yay. Any questions?
Well, sometimes I run it.
So we're going to practice this more tomorrow after the test. And then next week, again, this is like the most important thing I got to teach you based on the state test. A lot of the problems on the state test can be solved using unit rate. Yes.